Hey everyone, this is Jeff Lloyd with Cascade Fire Equipment, and today I'm here to show you our Frontier brush truck. So our Frontier model brush truck is offered in a Type 6 and Type 3. This model is a Type 6. It has some optional features that we'll go over, and we'll also go over the standard features as well. We designed this Frontier to be specifically used for off-road. We took much inspiration from the overland industry when it came to whether it was the latches, the angle departure, what have you. And so I'm going to show you guys all that and kind of what they come standard with, what they're optional, and we'll cover the whole truck. So on the front of the Frontier, we have our buck stop bumper, which is a steel bumper with a 6-inch extension. And this one, it comes standard with our hose tray right here, which also has an 1.5-inch valve to operate that hose tray. It comes standard with this Warren 16,500 pound winch with the Factor 55 Ultra hook. It comes standard with 2 wheel and ion emergency lighting, and also fog lights and siren speakers. Optionally on this truck, we opted to put our front bumper spray nozzles. So there are 2 on each side for a total of 4. They're operated at 10 gallons a minute, and you can turn them on and off from inside the cab. While we're at the front of the truck, another standard feature is 2 more wheel and ion emergency lights that are going to be in the grille of the Ford. So moving along to the side of the truck, as you guys can see, this is on a Super Single Kit, so this is an option. There are several different stages of the Buckstop Super Single Kit. This one in particular is the E-Click system. So this is going to have an electronic shock dampening system so you can get the smoothest ride possible. The rest of the kit is going to have replacement control arms, sway bars, coils, and then you're going to get single piece aluminum forged wheels and these petless tires. So in addition to that kit, also you're going to get the fender flares as well. So moving along, we have more emergency lighting right here on the fender well. And then down here on the side of the truck above the steps, we have 2 Whelen tracer lights that are going to be right underneath the doors right above these Weston running boards here. So that's going to give us nice side lighting. And as you can see, we've got some graphics on the truck. This is our 2026 demo truck. So we do have some graphics on here with our logo, and but a standard feature on any Frontier brush truck is to have your department's graphics put on there. Up above the cab, we have our Liberty light bar from Whelen, and we're using the smoked out lens on that. Very attractive light bar, and that is a standard feature for all of our Frontier units. Behind that, we have our roof rack up here. We use that to hold the spare tire. We also use it to mount some antennas and put some more floodlighting. That's an optional feature that we offer on the Frontier. So coming back to the body, I had mentioned in the beginning of the video that we took a lot of inspiration from the overland industry in making this truck. Most traditional fire trucks are very square body. They're a little problematic when you get them off-road. Same thing with some of the latches. We're used to seeing chrome D handles or T handle latches. And we went to these nice low profile compression style latches. So the options on this one are going to be the hose reels inside the underbody boxes. So by standard, we have 1 hose reel out the rear. Optionally, we can fit 2 mini reels in the underbody boxes, and these are going to hold 100 feet of hose each, and they come with a nozzle and a bracket just like that. And you've got the electric rewind button tucked away right here. So right above that box, we have our transverse box. So this is going to be a 24-inch box. This is a standard box for us. And we also have a tray that's on a 1,000-pound slide. So this slide is dual directional. It will come out both sides of the truck. It has 3 stopping points. Okay, once we have it all out, you can see that we're about 70% out. We can reach pretty much anything back on this back tray. And the tray is going to come with some rubber decking here, and it's going to have a nice textured finish. So this is a great storage option if you want to put equipment right here, but you can also have it mounted here. And then depending on which side of the road that you're pulling up on, you have that option of pulling it out driver or passenger. So as you can see on all the doors, we're using a double gull wing door, and that was to try to keep the box height lower, and so we wouldn't have a brace in the middle here. So we have 1 big door with a brace, and then we have a grab handle as well to go ahead and close that. One of the things I love about these compression latches is it's very easy to tell if they're still open. So if we only close one side and we're about to drive off, we can see this is open versus a slam latch style where we really got to press the corners to make sure that that's down. And so having something like this ensures you're not going to drive out with the door possibly flying open. So behind that transverse box, we have two equal size 44-inch compartments. So each of these compartments is going to have two adjustable shelves. You're going to have one larger one here on the bottom, and then you're going to have a smaller one because of the angle of the box up top. And then on the bottom, you're going to have the rubber decking. All of the boxes have the rubber decking. They're all vented. They all have LED lights in there so you can see everything that you've got stored in your boxes. So while we're here on the driver's side, we have the skirt that goes over the rear tire. And as you can see, we've got our fill for our diesel fuel for the chassis. We've got two emergency lights right here as well. And we also have our diesel exhaust fluid fill right there. So the last storage compartment on the driver's side is going to be this rear underbody box. And this guy right here is going to have one fixed flat shelf. And we also have an 1.5 inch discharge in here. So this can act as storage and also as a hose tray. So if you needed to pull 1.5 inches off the driver's side, you could do that. Okay. So coming to the rear of the truck, like I said, this is a closed top design. So we offer this Frontier unit in a closed or open top. It comes standard with the open top. With the closed top, you're getting a much bigger walking platform, a full perimeter basket around the top, and also a closed door. And so this is a great option if you're really going through the brush. You want to try to keep that unit as clean as possible. And we've also exhausted the motor on this, so you can leave this closed while idling. So before we open the top, I'm going to go over the rest of the rear of the truck here. So we have a very low profile bumper, as you can see, that attaches to this Frontier. We've got a great angle of departure right here, so we don't have to worry about backing up and running anything over. Two wheel and ions, emergency lights on both of the sides of the bumper, along with we have some recessed DOT lights for our brakes. We've got our auto charger from Kuzmal right here, a trailer plug, a backup camera, our suction hose compartment, which is going to have 3 lengths of suction hose, and also our hose rods as well, if we need to pick up our hose, and then a spot for our license plate, and then more brake lights and emergency lights. Below that, we have our 2-inch hitch if we need to tow anything. And attached to our hitch is a work step that we have. So this step right here deploys in this manner. There's two actions that need to be taken. There's a handle that pulls, and then there is one little pull handle right here. And now that's down. So that's going to be really useful when we open this door, if we need to do any maintenance on the pump package, if we need to reach the tank or anything, this is going to really help us get up on that. And so to close it back up, you have that right there, and then there's a paddle back here that you take, you close it. Let's open up the pump package here. So we've got one nice big roll-up door from Amdor. So once we open that up all the way, on the side of our panel, we have a little work light here. So that's going to give us some illumination here in the pump package. We've also have a light up here that's going to illuminate the ground where the pump operator would be. So that way when we're out there doing night ops, we've got full illumination of what we're doing. Also, on the panel here, we do have a couple more lights. If we turn that on, we can see that we've got 2 lights here, and then we've got some lighting that's behind the door that's going to give us even more. So once we're operating, you can really see the difference between the lights on and the lights off. So this pump package right here has a 400-gallon water tank. We have a 10-gallon foam cell. The pump powering this system is a Darley 1.5 AGE. That is an option. It has the 24-horse Kubota diesel, which comes off the chassis fuel. The standard for this is our CF120 on an 18-horsepower Briggs & Stratton, and then with that, you would get a 5-gallon auxiliary fuel tank. All the plumbing on this is going to be standard for our Frontier units. We have a 2.5-inch hydrant fill over here, so if we're going to fill from a pressurized system. We have our 2-inch draft line right here if we're going to draft from a water source. We have a 3/4-inch fill if we want to fill with the station hose or we want to fill backpack pumps. We also have a tank fill for recirculating water. And on this side, we have a discharge. So as you guys can see, all of our plumbing is all stainless steel. All the valves are attached by stainless steel flanges as well. and they are fully serviceable, and we sell kits here at Cascade if you ever have a leak on one of your valves. Controlling the unit is our control panel, which is a stainless steel housing, and we also have a removable aluminum faceplate that we powder coat. All of the finish on here is done with laser for durability, and as you can see, we have a pressure gauge, we have some liquid level gauges for our water and foam, we have our foam flow Class A foam system, a low pressure shutoff, an electric primer, and an electric throttle, and then obviously the controls to operate that unit. Okay, and also on the rear of the unit, if we're going to get on top of the truck, we have this ladder right here. So this ladder is going to come with that option of the enclosed top. And this ladder is made of stainless steel, and we have a nice Cerakote Super Grip finish. So if you guys aren't familiar with the Cerakote Super Grip, it's not quite like a Line X, but it does have a nice grip on it so you don't slip. So to deploy the ladder, we just basically unpin it and pull it down. I'll go ahead and climb up now. So while I'm here at the top of the unit, I want to point out a couple more things that we have right above the roll-up door. We have another floodlight right here, which you guys saw on earlier, and we also have some mini ions that we can use for traffic control and just extra emergency lighting that we have. So on top of the unit here, you can see we have a fill tower. So just in case you needed to fill from a hose that was hanging from the sky, you could pull under and use this fill tower. Above the slide on the transverse box, we have this coffin box right here, which houses this crane. So we're using a 1,000-pound crane here to lift our tire. So if we need to change a tire in the forest and we don't have anybody that we can call, we can change that ourselves. So the tire itself is held on by our spare tire bracket, 4 bolts and wing nuts there. And then we have the tire and the crane with a stainless hook right here that we can pick the tire up. Okay, here on the passenger side of the truck, our box configuration, as you guys can see, is a little bit different. So instead of having the 2 even size compartments, we have one smaller 24-inch and one larger 66-inch box. And also on this underbody, instead of a hose tray, we have our foam cell. So on all of the other units that we manufacture, the Legacy, the Metro, pretty much every fire truck in the industry, you're going to see the foam cell integrated into the poly tank. So we moved it down here, this box, for 2 reasons. The first was we wanted to try to keep the height of the truck overall low. So by removing the foam cell, we were able to lower the tank and therefore lower the boxes. The other reason too is it's much easier to fill down here. So instead of hauling up a 5-gallon pail that weighs about 50 pounds up top to the fill tower, we can simply just unscrew this cap and refill it. So the box above there that I spoke about earlier, which is our 66-inch compartment box. So as you guys can see, it has the same features as the other compartments with the LED lighting, the rubber decking, and the vents. And so just like the other boxes, this has 2 adjustable and removable trays. We have one smaller and one larger right here. Okay, our 24-inch box right here, same features, just obviously a lot thinner. So this is a great box if you need to store maybe a gas can or something that's going to have fumes and you really want to isolate that from the rest of the equipment. You can use this box right here. Same thing, it has the 2 adjustable shelves, the rubber decking, and the lights. And the other 2 boxes are going to be the same exact as the other side, which is our 24-inch transverse. And then we have the other underbody, which has the other reel in here. Okay, so underneath the rear seat in the chassis, we have our wiring box. So this box right here is made of polypropylene plastic with a powder-coated aluminum top. And this is where we're going to house all of the electronics and wiring that we're doing on this vehicle. So if I open that up, you can see we have our wheeling controller right here. All of our systems are done with a 100% wiring harness that comes into our fuse box. And once we sell this truck, we're going to have customer supplied radios, routers, any other electronic equipment that they might have will go into this box. So inside the cab, we have our emergency console, which is from Troy Products. And this is a standard console that you're going to see throughout all of our trucks. So as you can see, we have a compartment door ajar light, which I left the door open so we could demonstrate what that looks like. We also have our wheeling controller right here, which has some preset modes up here, and the rocker, 3-point rocker switch that you guys are used to. We also have the amber light control for our traffic in the back. To the right of that, we have our sprayers left and right, so we can open those valves from inside the cab. We also have our in-cab control panel right here, so we're able to start and operate the pump from inside the cab here. As you can see, we have a on start off. We also have electric throttle, a water and a foam slave gauge, a couple warning lights right here, along with a digital pressure gauge. Then we have 2 beverage holders. We have blank plates for some extra things that we might want to put in here, change drawer, and a couple of 12 volt and USB charging ports. For our rear view camera, we've replaced the factory rear view mirror with one that utilizes the camera, and this will stay on not just in reverse, but even when you're going forward. And then we also have this storage space right here for any extra storage or owner's manuals that you might want to put in there.